right. So, let's see. Wow, chat has gotten busy early. K9 and Devlin are here. Right on time. Hello, Susie. Ron, how are you doing? Okay, Susie, K9. Okay. Hey, everyone. Hey, folks. Okay. I'm sure you'll let me know as soon as you can. Hello, all. As soon as you can see and hear me. Soon as we have. Okay, there's Ron going. We're on. Angela, hi. You're here. Looks like it does definitely look like, yeah, we are live. Okay. So, intro, and let's do this. Okay, everybody, it is good to see all of you. Now, as you may or may not remember, judging by chat, some of you didn't remember, I'm not in town. I'm not at my home right at this moment, as you may have guessed. I have had to bring my dog. I'm currently in a town about 4 hours away. It's called College Station. It's sort of, I'm going to say, a little bit northeast of Central Texas. It's the home of Texas A&M University, and I have brought my dog Taj here. He's sort of like napping just out of frame on the floor right there because of his veterinary needs. This is, I told you before that he may have a little tumor pressing up against his cerebellum, kind of sort of like the base of his brain, as it were, some kind of growth. They can't quite identify what it is. However, this is, in A&M being one of like the top veterinary colleges in the country, and this being an incredibly good vet hospital right here, they actually have a neurologist, in the building on staff. And so I was referred to them from my previous vet, and I brought him down here to get looked at. At the moment, what's happened was he went in on Wednesday morning, yesterday morning. Checked him out for a little bit. They already had the CRT scans. CRT. God. No, MRI. Come on, Thomas, you're not that old. And so I can fill you in on some details a little bit later on, but yeah, they're going to advise me on what sort of treatment they recommend for him after a certain point. But I'm kind of enjoying being away from the house. As I understand, right now, at this moment, there is a massive thunderstorm happening over my home, so, we could have had that in the background, so we don't. We're here in my little suite at this hotel. I've kind of set everything up so the background is at least kind of interesting. We are not going to have train noise, I'm sorry to say, not going to have crickets chirping. There is a really kind of pretty courtyard area outside. This is one of those hotels where it's like the outside just kind of presents this wall to the world, but you get inside and there's, the whole thing is a big donut shape surrounding a courtyard, and that's where the pool is and seating and all that. And it's kind of nice, but, too public of an area for me to set up and do this. And so, not really worth it. Anyway, so here we are. It's going to be very quiet, very mellow. My boy is calm a little bit. We were just running around playing with his ball earlier. Let's see if I can. Hey, so short stories from this. Yes, this is what I'm reading tonight. It's brand new, just came in. It is, as you see, it's a stories set in the world of The Stand, and it is bonkers who is in this anthology. They got like everyone. I think the only major name I didn't see in it would be Stephen Graham Jones, but it is a star-studded anthology, and and so I'm looking forward to getting into it. Even though I am both hot and cold on The Stand itself as a novel, there's bits of it that I think is the greatest thing King ever wrote, and then I think it kind of veers into melodrama a lot, but certainly very ambitious, especially for an early career novel, and obviously it has become something that is part of, the horror landscape, ever since, right? So now let me just wheel back up over chat and see what I've missed here. Okay, so Sue's here. Litwits. which came in second to Plots and Recreation. I gotta admit, Plots and Recreation is pretty awesome. All right. So, hi everyone. Susie, Kane, and Angela, see who have I. Or, hey, folk, Fat Drunk Dragon. Hello. It sort of is, yeah. Let's see, short stories from the stands. Yeah, no trains. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry, but I thought about like getting on, either my phone or something, like finding some kind of sound effects recording, whether it's like crickets or cicadas or train noise or something like that. And I'm like, that would be so incredibly cheesy if I did that. But anyway, let's see what the rest of you are reading tonight. Karen is reading Hungry Gods by Adrian Tchaikovsky. That's pretty great. Okay, well, Mike, good. I hope that comes in for you very soon. You have it on pre-order. Very good. Angela's on the third Murderbot book. Aura reads is starting Prosper's Demon by K.J. Parker. Ooh, very cool choice. Kelswitch is reading Blue in Search of Nature's Rarest Color. Last summer reading challenge book. Now that's an interesting sounding title. Books, Teen Owls is reading Departure 37 by Scott Carson. Yes, I am. I very much want to read that one because I liked Lost Man's Lane a lot more than I was expecting to. So I do want to get Departure 37 read and then get reviews of them both up for like Halloween season. Mike is reading Axis. Okay, Susie's reading Jingo. Very cool. Okay. And Ron is jumping back and forth between Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. I like that. I just like the violence inherent in the system in that title. Very nice. Where the Dead Brides Gather. Ooh, nice. Good choice. Yeah, it really was. It was sort of like, okay, this is gonna. Oh, yeah. So it was a nice sort of bolt from the blue for me. But anyway, so that's that. So I have, like I said, the book here. It is a chalk, as you see, and who all is in it? Because it's okay. So Maurice Broaddus, Poppy Z. Bright, Robert Cargill, Nat Cassidy is in here. V. Castro, Richard Chismar, S.A. Cosby, Tananarive Dew and Stephen Barnes writing together. Magdalena Gabino Iglesias, Jonathan Jans, Alma Katsu, Carolyn Kepnes, Michael Corita, Sarah Langan, Joe Lansdale, Tim Leben, Josh Mallerman, Ronald Malfi, Usman T. Malik, Primi Mohammed is in here, Cynthia Pelayo, Haley Piper, David Shao, Alex Segura, Brian Smith, Paul Tremblay, Catherine Valente, Bev Vincent, Katrina Ward, Chuck Wendig, Rath James Wright, and Rio Ewers. I mean, you don't get much more star-studded than that for a horror anthology, but so very impressive collection of gets. But it's out right now, so I'm gonna check out like the first couple of stories, or maybe I'll bounce around a bit tonight. Yeah, I'm not kidding, and I like it. Everybody, I just imagine having that sort of editorial clout, like just get me everyone. So here we go. So let's see. K9 has started The Lesser Dead by Christopher Buhlman. Oh, very nice. And Fat Drunk Dragon is about to finish Apocalypse Codex. Okay. All right. It is the phone book for horror writers. It really is. So, all right, everyone. So, anyway, let me see if I can get my just make sure that he's. Oh, I don't want to mess anything up. Can I do it? Can you see him? Wait. There he is. Just take a little nap. Being a really good boy. So, yeah. So there it is. So he is just being very chill. And he's a wonderful traveling companion. And, yeah. I'll tell you, I will, yeah, I'll do, I mean, I am absolutely ride or die for this dog, I'll tell you, you know. Nothing I won't do for the boy. And, so, Yeah, basically, depending on what the growth is, maybe it can be medication treatable, or maybe he may require some radiation therapy, which is a very targeted thing. But whatever he needs, I'll do for him. I feel like, I've already gone the distance with him already. Just gave him the whole heartworm treatment, killed his heartworms. So I feel, I'm not going to just give up on him now, It's, he's going to have to put up with being poked and prodded a little bit more. But he is a fun traveling companion. He really is. A sweet boy. So, all right. Oh. Which is a puppy. Yeah, we're gonna whisper. He's a puppy. So, all right. Okay, good. Well, thank you, Mike, and thank you, everyone. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna try to keep him really chill and have a really nice, chill evening reading, and he'll be very quiet on this end. So, yeah, if you all want to find your own ambient background effects or what have you for, to kind of make up for, us not having the trains and the cicadas. If that works for you, go right ahead and do that. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah. I think he's gonna do fine. This being a college town, there are some nice kind of like dog-friendly, areas that that you can go to. Last night we went to just sit out on a patio at this little, just burger grill place. It was a nice outing. So, yeah, Kill Switch, if you felt like doing that, like Angela says, we, if you just wanted to throw a random train fact at us anyway, go right ahead. Maybe you have some interesting, since there's no actual train and we have to imagine the trains, maybe Kill Switch, maybe some good ghostly train stories or something very haunting and eerie. Or maybe not, I don't know. I feel like I'm just in that kind of spooky mood. But we are going now, folks. 45 minutes and counting. Kill Switch, here you go. Yeah, that sounds awesome. yes, please do, Killswitch. Yeah, I'd go on that in a heartbeat. That's fantastic. Okay, that's a way to get a stream up with a bang, Killswitch. Very nice. Yeah, I've been loving the train facts every week. It's just absolutely great. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. Well, thank you for that one. Hello, Raf. Oh, good to see you're reading a classic. Glad you joined. Thanks for coming by. Oh, wow, Killswitch. Ooh, yeah. Okay, by all means put that in the Discord. Cannot wait to see. Yeah, that will be what I doze off to tonight. Very awesome. Well, if nothing else, too, YouTube's little algorithms, if there are others up there on the platform, you can watch one, get a recommendation for some others and things like that. So who knows what you might discover just at random. Right? Yeah, that would happen a lot, Aura. I think, when certain books would jump across the ocean from the UK to here, there would be many times edits, title changes, that kind of thing. And Brian Aldiss seemed to have that happen more than once with some of his books. So. That's true. The Endless TBR, K9. I think it's just to do with different editors, K9. That's probably all it is. Raph, I have not started watching that yet because I want to get home where I have my proper Dolby Atmos, my surround sound setup, big TV. I don't want to watch it on my laptop, but yes, I'm dying to see it. I was very skeptical of it initially, but then all the early reports started coming in just very So now I'm actually kind of I'm pretty enthusiastic actually. But what I am going to do, since I am here in like a real city, or small city anyway, where there's like a quality theater, is tomorrow I'm going to go see Weapons. Which will be the first movie I've seen theatrically probably in more than a year. So it's one thing that sucks about living in this little rinky-dink town that I'm in. There are theaters close by, but they're pretty, low quality. And I got spoiled living in Austin, Yeah, but here we go. Yes, that's another example, Laura. But, anyway. Yes, I'm very intrigued, and by it, and I really enjoyed Barbarians, so I'm looking forward to whatever this, whatever new this filmmaker does. And then apparently his next project is going to be a Resident Evil film. I'm going to try to relaunch that, but hopefully do it in a much greater spirit of what the source material is all about. Although I have a hot take, which is that I didn't think the Netflix series that everyone just excoriated was all that bad. I didn't think it was bad. I think once you got past like the first episode or so, where the focus goes off of like the annoying teenage characters and starts to build the world out, I think it actually got pretty good. Certainly closer to the source material than all those Mila Jovovich movies. But anyway, I'm rambling. But yes, the teasers and the trailers for Weapons just have me really giddy. Well, I don't know. I mean, many times I take it. For a while, it just turned into that very silly, Mila Jovovich franchise. And then it sort of lay dormant for a while. And then there was an attempt to do it as a Netflix series, which got canceled after one season. The whole gaming crowd hated that series, but I did not think it was bad at all, really. I mean, and it had, I think, one of the final performances by Lance Riddick, a wonderful actor. And playing a canonical character in the franchise, but against the traditional casting of that character, but still doing it very well. Anyway. Yeah, I don't want to know anything more about Weapons than I've seen from the teasers and the trailers. So yeah. I know. I mean, genre fans are really getting served lately, aren't we? I mean, there is an embarrassment of riches out there. I just need to kind of find your thing and then really, really support it. Excuse me. Yeah, I love to see that these movies are doing so well. And I love also the fact that no one is using that pretentious term elevated horror anymore, right? I think there seems to be more of an acceptance that yes, horror can just do this, right? This can be about very interesting and thought-provoking and challenging stories, and so I'm glad there's more acceptance of that, and a lot of Sinner's already being referred to, as like best picture of the year material, so it's just very cool. Anyway, back to it. Oh, little fox barks. All right, everybody. Well, that is first session. So I will see you in 5, right? Hang on. Okay, everyone, we are back for a second session, and boy, if this stream has ever been a chill stream, it is definitely the case tonight. My boy's still fast asleep over there on the floor. Room is very quiet. I did shift my mic over a little bit because I realized it was sitting next to my very large and very loud external with the fans going. And because I brought my entire editing suite with me on this trip. So anyway, yes. All right, so I guess we'll keep going. I've been reading this very first story, and yeah, it's definitely a Carolyn Kepnes piece. It's all about some seriously messed up people. So yeah, it's just beginning the anthology with a bang, you might say. So, alrighty then. So moving on, 45 minutes and counting down. Yeah. So decent viewership tonight, despite, or maybe just how very, very relaxed it is. Who knows? But I'm glad to have all of you with me. Makes it feel very much like home. Even being away. Okay, so onward. He finally got up on the couch, which I was wondering why. Why not? Why be on the hard floor when the couch is right there? But he finally got up and now he's on the couch. So. Hello, Jerry. How are you? I'm glad you turned up. As you might be able to tell, I am not at home tonight. I'm out of town. I'm in this little travel suite. So, very glad you're here. I hope you're doing great. Hope you've had a good week. What are you reading? Crown so boom into a crown so cursed. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for joining. Since I don't have outdoor sounds and cicadas and trains, this is a very, very quiet stream tonight. So, good to have you here. Hello, George. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming by, as always. With your generosity, we were talking about weapons earlier tonight, at the beginning of the stream. Since I'm not in my rinky-dink little hometown, I'm in a place that has an actual, quality theater. I'm looking forward to seeing it on this trip. So, it'll be the first movie I've seen in a theater in well more than a year. There are theaters within driving distance from me, but I tend to be very picky about my theatrical experience, shall we say. So, yes, very much looking forward to seeing it. But I'm glad you're here, George. I hope you're having a good night. I am not at Worldcon. I kind of about a month or so ago made the decision. I wasn't gonna be making the trip. No, I am in a town near Central Texas. It's a place called College Station. It's the home of Texas A&M University. And the reason I'm here is that I have brought my dog, my Belgian Malinois, Taj, with me, who is dozing on the sofa behind me. Because they have, A&M has one of the best veterinary colleges in the country. And they have a really great hospital here as well. And long story short, he has some kind of a growth. Not sure if it's a little benign little tumor, benign little growth, or malignant something or another. I'm not 100% sure. At the very base of his, near his brainstem, it's pushing against his cerebellum. And so I had scans done at another clinic near me, and then we got referred to this place because they have an actual neurologist on staff. And so they ran some tests on him yesterday and going to recommend new treatments. They say they should get results in and be talking to me maybe about, Monday or Tuesday, beginning of the week. Discuss next steps, basically. So that's why I'm here. That's where I am. I'm not, for me, Seattle would have been more, I miss it. I'm sad that I'm not there, in a sense, because even if I didn't do much with the convention, I have friends in the area that I would have loved to see. And so it's a pity, so I'm missing the trip on that account. But yeah, thank you, and Jerry. I hope so too. He's a good dog, and this kind of been a little bonding trip for us too, so he is, so he is, I feel like what he has is eminently treatable, but, it's going to be a little bit of a rough roll, ahead. So, anyway, I hope you can. Onyx will be in LA next year. Not quite sure after that. And I'm glad to see you enjoyed Superman, George. I'll probably wait for streaming on that one, but it's good. Yeah, I'm like the idea of the, we're getting back to a more, I guess, upbeat, not away from the grimdark Superman, and probably into something a little bit more, truth, justice, and the American way kind of thing, which, however you feel about that, probably just, I feel like right now we're at a time when people need more positive, messaging in their entertainment. So, yes. Well, see, there you go. Perfect. LA would be perfect. So, but we're just gonna have to see what the next year brings, aren't we? But yeah, like I said, I haven't been to a theater in forever, so I will probably, maybe tomorrow, I'll try to catch a screening of Weapons, early afternoon screening or something. Ugh. And sorry for rattling, but I'm trying to get comfortable here. Burka. Yeah. Oh, are you taking off? Oh. Well, thank you for coming by just for a short period of time, Jerry. So I hope to see you next week. Be back on the front porch. But thank you for coming, and you have a good night too, okay? For So we got about 15 minutes left in the stream, so just get back to the books. But yeah. Well, I hope it's been a good week for you, George. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's it is certainly an enveloping experience. Excuse me. Okay. Thanks, George. Off to a fascinating start. Speaking of grim, yeah, there's an all-star contributors list to this anthology, and so yeah, everything so far is well, I'm only like about 10 pages into the second story, but it's just bleakly compelling so far. Alas, no. Can't have it all. Oh. Ooh. Oh no. You see, reading on your, are you on a Kindle or something, K9? Or a device? Okay. I don't know if now I read ebooks on my iPad, you know, and I do the, you know, the night vision, right? So white text on the black screen. That really, I mean, I don't think I could tolerate like just black text on white with just so much of the light just even if you turn the brightness well down, it would still, I think, just, I think my eye switches, yeah, so. I don't know. Yeah, I would not, yeah, just the constant blast of light from the screen would not feel good, yeah. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Maybe you should, maybe there should be an option to try other colors. I know there are varying color schemes available. I'm sure this is true with, like, you know, the color Kindles and Kobos and all the rest of it, or like on iBooks, you know, the Apple Books, the reading, you know, whatever their app is. You know, you can obviously you can have white on black, black on white, but then there is like a fake paper texture that will give you various colors. Like there is like a parchment yellow, right? If you're, you know, or you know, for the background, or something like a little bit of so maybe like a soft gray vellum for, you know, for the background. So if you know, if you don't like reading white on black, but you don't want so much glare, you know, there are a few other options, and I'm sure, I mean, all the other e-readers, come on Thomas, get it out, must do that as well, right? I never experienced that myself, George, but yeah, the white text on blue, I remember that. It was just sort of like, you're right, Kenan. There is also kind of like a tan, kind of brownish thing. You know. Being able to adjust the font size and what have you, you know. Well, good luck with that. With that, I know that Kobo is. Ouch! Oh my gosh! Oh wow! Muscle cramp. Oh wow! Yikes! Hang on, let me just straighten this out. I didn't mean to startle you, boy. Yeah, I agree. Wow, that's weird. I'm sitting up on one like these. This is like the kind of, you know, kitchen bar thing that I'm sitting at, and I'm up a bit high and I'm on a stool. And not quite used to sitting at this angle. Anyway, yeah, what I was going to say before that happened, ouch, was, you know, the Kobos are sort of getting a real boost, I think, because more and more people are getting sick of just, you know, nobody wants to deal with Amazon anymore. People don't like being in the Amazon ecosystem if they don't have to be. And so, you know, Kobos are really, lately, I know they've been getting a surge. Among people who like, you know, like their ebooks. So, yeah, George, I am old. I see, you know, and I definitely feel it when my dog is like pulling at me to go down the stairs, and I'm like, whoa, can't take the stairs down this fast like I used to. So yeah, nothing makes you feel your age like a Belgian Malinois. Well, I hope you can get one. Get a good one. Okay, now that'll be hopefully that can come soon into your life. So. Definitely not buying another Kindle, yeah. Kobo Libra Color, the access to Google Drive, Dropbox, and access to Libby, has built-in Libby. Oh, now that sounds like the model to get. Books Go Color 7 a while back. Really enjoyed that. I see. I haven't heard of that brand. But it's like getting a Kindle. Okay. Yeah, George, you had mentioned that some time back. Point the small type. You can't really manage the small type in a mass market paperback anymore. And, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, really, Angela? Yeah. Oh, that's cool, Mike. Yeah, I'm finding some stuff out tonight. Hardcovers are still good for what ails you. I am a bit of a loyalist. Nothing like the feeling of just a big chunk of paperweight in your hand. But yeah, yeah, they can be. Yeah, I feel very fortunate that I still get reviewed copies of most, not everything, but you know. You're right. They're averaging now 30 to 35. You know, I think that may still be one thing that keeps letting Amazon dominate too, because of course they treat books like loss leaders. So they'll just have new hardcover. Someone has the opportunity to get it for 40% off. Rather than just going to the shop and paying the full retail on it. Unfortunately, I think that it's going to, keep Amazon dominant for a while, and it's going to continue to pose a threat to smaller bookstores. Although I will say, the smaller bookstores are still kind of hanging in there with their fingernails. There's one in town that I would like to visit, just a locally owned bookshop, and now I'll have time because I'm staying an extra night beyond what my initial plan was. So. Gonna take a look at that, but anyway, up to 35, yeah. Yeah. Well, now that's amazing to hear, Angela. Oh, yeah, George, I remember, K9, yes, K9. I remember when adult hardcovers, used to be $19.99, or even $16.99, I think, when I was just old enough to where I could afford to buy the occasional hardcover. Yeah, they were like $15.95, $16.95, and of course now trade paperbacks, a lot of them are 19, 20, 22. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, secondhand bookstores. Yeah, if you just want to have a physical copy to read, you don't care that it's already been loved by another reader. That's fine. Oh, that's not good, K9. Yeah, well, yeah, buyer beware on that kind of stuff. Unfortunately. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, Yeah, but to be fair, that trend has been a thing for a little while, George. You know, I mean, the 90s were the age of the doorstopper fantasy series. And serious fiction has been a thing for a long time. Of course, it's true. They didn't typically run 400 pages back in the day, but I think Robert Jordan really broke that mold too. You know. Oh yeah, that's a good discussion. Whew, oh boy. Yeah. Um, were you at least able to report that book for being fake? Is there a way to do anything like that? Just to get them to just take it off sale? Oh wow. Okay, well, that's good at least. K9. But, well, folks, let me tell you, kind of the timer ticked off a few minutes ago, but I've just kind of kept things going because we still okay. Well, there you go. I mean, that's the next best thing to a refund. Okay, I suppose you get a little store credit, get to pick something else. You know, better than nothing, right? But yeah. So anyway, I've just sort of kept it running here because we got a little conversation going, and I love talking to you guys. Just sort of like being part of the gathering tonight, but. Officially, I think, our time is up. That's another stream done and dusted. Another wonderful evening spent with you guys. I moved that lamp over there, and the way it's casting the shadow from the plant on the ceiling, I really love that. That's just a nice little accidental effect. So it's made, the hotel room setting, I think, a bit homier than it would have ordinarily been. So, yeah. Anyway, no, not to worry, Kanan. I enjoy hanging out with you guys, and I love the company. This is a once a week thing, and it's really a very special time for me every Thursday night. So anyway, but yeah, so I will see you all next Thursday, regular time. Things happening in the interim, and I will, of course, keep everyone posted on Tasha's progress as well. Yes, thank you, Susie. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, he is going to be in for some treatment, but we will see how it goes. I'm sure he's very strong and a very brave dog, full of life. So, yeah. So good night, everybody. Love seeing all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, as I always say, please stay safe and healthy. Happy reading. Have a great weekend. If it's storming in your area, please just... be safe and sound, all right? But and I'm gonna go and look up that ghost train video on the Discord as well, Kill Switch. So, good night, everyone. Love you guys. Thank you all so much. All right, everyone, take care. Good night. Thank you for being here, George. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. Good night.